Yes, guess I'm live, unless like last launch. Yes, last launch was just me waffling for what was it? Uh, 20 minutes before I actually uh dis- discovered I wasn't live streaming, but I was just live streaming to my live board. Wow. Mm, pretty knackered. Hold on. Let me push this stream to everyone out there. My own server. Built-in holds. Yes. Uh, yes, getting everybody in here. Hello, Ox. Hello, hello. Welcome. Uh, my setup is still kind of messed up from the 24 hours, because, oh boy. What a race that was. Yeah, but completely different today. We have rocket launches. Yes, because rocket launches are cool. Why not? And I have to swap around my, do a bit of a swapperoo because my, everything is still a bit, I'm kind of tired still from the 24 hours. Although I didn't do that much. Well, I drove slow lap. Yeah, what a roller coaster that was indeed. Uh, we have rockets today, and I'm trying to swap. Oh, no. We're gonna get yes. Oh, Inception. No, just put it on faints only before we do that. Swap it around because my second screen is my sim rig, so that way I can actually swap it around. Good. Yes, I'm using light mode. Don't judge me, okay? Good evening, Delano. Good evening. You've had your screen in this stream before. Yeah, but it's I have two screens. That's why, and one is my racing screen, and the other one is my different game, whatever stream. That's why, and my sim rig. So it's my desk right here, and then screen here, and then my wheel plus my complete rig is right there next to me, so I have to look over to see the chat, but yeah. Because for some reason YouTube is fucking with mobile stream, so whenever I go on mobile, it sometimes doesn't even load the chat correctly, or just stops loading the chat in, which is annoying because then I miss comments. But yeah, with Delta 4 today, and actually I'm gonna get something. Be right back. Yeah, classified missions again, so pretty fun. Yes, I'm back. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, today this launch will be a short launch, short broadcast, if it even launches, because the weather is kind of 40% go. Model through the window. Well, not really. But I was gonna show you guys because I have the Lego Hubble. So yeah, let me swap around. Actually, I should do this in studio mode, but we'll just do this like we had before. Cause today's payload is looking a lot like this. Although it's secretive, we have a suspicion that it is another one of these spy satellite, which looks like the Hubble Space Telescope. But I was gonna... Oh, they're actually going live. So this is the Delta IV Heavy. This is what they're gonna launch. 2 side boosters, core stage, second stage, payload fairing, which in here is the payload, which... the payload fairing is 11.5 meters high. You can fit a complete school bus in there. It's pretty big. But what I was gonna show you guys, so let me enlarge my own camera. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Enlarge my own. Oh no. Enlarge my own camera a bit so you guys can see. So today it's launching another classified payload, which is for the National Reconnaissance Office. That's why it's called NROL, so NROL launch. Am I talking over this still? Yes. But the satellite it's launching is called a Cannon Spy Satellite. So KEN, Cannon, which is based on a Hubble Space Telescope. So in about 20 minutes we'll see liftoff, hopefully. Let me just close my windows. So yeah, besides motor racing, the thing I like is spaceflight, rockets. So we're streaming rocket launches once in a while. Yeah, that's the thing I do. But I'll try to be silent so you can hear what they're saying. Here's what we're seeing. The probability of violating launch constraints is 40%. The ground winds are 10 to 15 knots out of the northwest, and the temperature is 55 degrees Fahrenheit. So, the weather is within the launch commit criteria and looks favorable for our plan T0 at 1:47 p.m. Pacific. Well, okay, so basically these satellites, they're launching. It's pretty big. 5, 4, 3, so yeah, the rocket it sets itself on fire before it launches. That's completely normal.
At T-minus 14 seconds, the launch table HPOs ignite to burn off excess hydrogen injected into the flame duct. At T-minus 7 seconds, the starboard Delta IV Rofi lights, igniting its RS-68A engine.
Those engines are...
Four RS-68A engines ignite, generating more than 2.1 million pounds of total thrust to lift the rocket off the pad. This staggering...
I'll turn up the volume a bit, by the way.
Are the hydrogen-burning Delta IV Heavy. Shortly after liftoff, Delta IV begins a pitchover to attain the proper flight path while minimizing the pressure the vehicle experiences during flight. The Delta IV reaches Mach 1, the speed of sound, at 1 minute 21 seconds. At 3 minutes 56 seconds, the port and starboard booster engines shut down. 2 seconds later, the port and starboard boosters are jettisoned to shed their weight. The center booster engine then throttles to full power to maximize performance against gravity losses. Approaching main engine cutoff, Delta IV is burning propellant at a rate of 1,945 pounds, or 882 kilograms per second, traveling at more than 12,725 miles, or 20,479 kilometers per hour, and located 130 miles, or 209 kilometers in altitude, and 350 miles, or 563 kilometers downrange. At 5 minutes 37 seconds, propellant levels deplete, and the main engine shuts down. 7 seconds later, the Delta IV separation system activates to release the first stage. The vehicle now weighs approximately 7% of what it did at liftoff. At 5 minutes 57 seconds, the Delta cryogenic second stage, or DCSS main engine ignites to carry the payload to orbit. During ascent, NROL-82 is protected inside a 5-meter diameter payload fairing. At approximately 6 minutes 7 seconds, the payload fairing is jettisoned. Delta IV continues its national security mission following payload fairing jettison.
Yeah, so the satellite that's on there is just a dummy for the render, but it looks a lot like the Hubble Space Telescope. It only has another service module with propulsion.
Southern California may be able to see the Delta IV Heavy in flight, and as you can see from this graphic, those of you located in Los Angeles and the surrounding areas might even see port and starboard booster separation at approximately L+4 minutes. To get a closer look at this graphic, check out @ULA Launch on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. ULA is using the Delta IV Heavy configuration to launch the NROL-82 mission. This is the 13th Delta IV Heavy launch, and ULA's 143rd mission.
Yeah,
Built
I can
in Decatur,
increase it a
Alabama,
bit more.
The Delta IV Heavy is the largest and most powerful configuration in the ULA fleet. It's comprised of 3 common booster cores, each powered by Aerojet Rocketdyne RS-68A engines, and a Delta cryogenic second stage powered by an Aerojet Rocketdyne RL-10B2 engine. The satellite is protected during ascent by a 5-meter diameter payload fairing. Events leading to launch began on February 16th, when the 3 Delta boosters were lifted into their vertical position here at Slick 6. Then, on March 31st, the NROL-82 spacecraft, encapsulated inside the payload fairing, was transported to the mobile service tower at Space Launch Complex 6 and mated to the Delta IV rocket. On Saturday, the Mobile Assembly Shelter, or MAS, was moved to its launch position. The MAS protects the Delta IV rocket from the wind and fog, so common to its location here on California's Pacific coast. At approximately 5 a.m. this morning, final preparations began at Space Launch Complex 6. Using 40 hydraulic cylinders at pressures nearing 3,500 psi, the MST was raised 8 inches and rolled back, revealing the Delta IV launch vehicle. At 100 feet by 100 feet by 300 feet, the MST is as tall as a football field is long, as wide as the length of a basketball court, and weighs about 10 million pounds. Using a carriage transporter system traveling at about a quarter mile per hour, it takes about 25 minutes to roll the MST to its launch position, 300 feet east of the rocket. The Delta IV Heavy stands 233 feet tall, or about 23 stories, and weighs about 1.6 million pounds.
Is it just
fully
me,
fueled.
or is the
3
audio
Delta
a bit
IV
buggy?
RS-68A main engines produce more than 2 million pounds fully fueled. The 3 Delta IV RS-68A main engines produce more than 2 million pounds of thrust at liftoff.
Roger. Gas Helsing. Go.
Ooh, go, no, go.
Pattern 140.
Yes.
Roger.
Anyway, so yeah, spy satellite probably. We don't know for sure, but it's, yeah, kind of known.
For step 1180, verify base bending moment instrumentation is active.
Yeah, it does sound a bit laggy. Well, then it's not my side. Then it is whatever they're doing.
LC, net 1. I'll be utilizing placard 6 alpha.
Copy 6 alpha.
But this is onboard views. This is on the
Today's launch is for
interstage
the National
between the first and
Reconnaissance
second
Office,
stage.
or NRO.
Looking
This is
downward
ULA's
at the
31st launch
boosters.
for the NRO and 9th use of the Delta IV Heavy for the NRO. The NRO is a joint
Yeah, I'm
organization
good, yeah.
engaged in the research
I
and
heard
development,
so, and
acquisition,
I thought so.
launch, and operation of innovative overhead reconnaissance systems necessary to meet the needs of the intelligence community and the Department of Defense. The NRO is recognized for its transformational intelligence collection systems that are used to develop highly accurate military targeting data, support international peacekeeping and humanitarian relief operations, and to assess the impact of natural disasters.
Majestic Delta IV Heavy. This is one of the most powerful rockets in the world. It's the second most powerful. Yeah, well.
The NRO provided the artwork we see on today's payload fairing. The details on today's artwork were inspired by a World War II fighter pilot who was awarded the Medal of Honor, a Navy Cross, and Purple Heart for heroism and dedication, and who had ace fighter pilot skills. This patriot was Gregory Boyington, known to many as Pappy. This logo was designed to commemorate the many heroic acts and sacrifices that have been made to protect America. The artwork features an eagle, symbolizing freedom, wearing traditional World War II flight gear. Behind the eagle is an F-4U Corsair, the aircraft that Pappy Boyington flew while in the Marine Corps. Additionally, we have the Latin phrase Tacitae Libertatis Custodumque, which translates to Silent Guardians of Freedom. Below the mission artwork, there is an additional patch recognizing the NRO's 60th anniversary this year. NROL 82 is ULA's 90th national security mission. Gary Wentz, Vice President of Government and Commercial Programs, talks about the significance of these missions.
We're really honored to be here today launching our 90th mission for our national security defense customer as we begin the celebration of the National Reconnaissance Office's 60th anniversary. National security satellites range everything from GPS to intelligence sources that our decision makers use to direct and focus our warfighters in defending our country. A good example of a national security space satellite would be something like a GPS system. It was previously used to locate warfighters in their domain and direct them in the area of a target. And since then, that capability has evolved and being used by citizens across the world. Launching these critical
Yes,
payloads for
yes,
our
Ox,
national
yes,
security
yes.
defense customer is extremely important. There's a lot of challenges. You have to have a team that's focused with a national security background and have been cleared. You have multiple payloads that are coming together with unique requirements to test and check out before launch. We focus on vertical integration to give that spacecraft a similar environment on the ground as it'll see during ascent and headed to orbit. And then we actually deploy them at different locations because they serve.
Yeah, it's basically a space telescope looking
We're
down at
really
the
looking
Earth.
forward to
They're
starting
launching.
with our new launch vehicle, the Vulcan Centaur, and actually be able to start integrating some of these critical payloads on that platform and launching here in the near future.
Verification.
Roger.
So we're still holding at
OSM,
2-4
verify the
minutes.
whole fire switch is in the process.
And they're gonna do the go no go pull in a
Today's
second.
flight is dedicated to frontline workers who have been vital to the fight against
nice.
COVID-19. This mission is also in memory of two NRO teammates. A few moments ago, Mission Director Colonel Chad Davis remembered these friends and colleagues, Lisa Wilson and Ross Kobayashi. Let's listen in.
Today's launch is dedicated to the memory of past NRO teammates, notably including Lisa Wilson, engineer, friend, wife, mother and grandmother, who for 32 years provided unbounded support and technical direction for critical space lift missions, resulting in precise orbital insertion of satellite vehicles. Lisa's achievements are to be remembered as an example of service of the freedoms we stand for. Go for flight. And Ross Kobayashi, mentor, friend, husband and father, who for 25 years had been part of the OSL mission assurance team, responsible for the assessment of launch vehicle risks and the success of over 50 national launches across the Titan, Atlas, and Delta launch systems. Ross served as the technical chair for 28 NRO launches, leading the efforts to safely shepherd the payloads to orbit, culminating with the launch of NRO L-71 from Slick 6. Fight on forever, Ross. MD out.
This is Delta Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. We remain in the planned built-in hold as preparations for launch continue. In a few moments, launch conductor Scott Barney will pull the launch
4
team
minutes.
for the final go to pick up the count.
Or it's 7
27
minutes from
engineers
launch,
and
actually.
managers are pulled for system status and readiness to proceed. This is the final status check before launch for all Delta vehicle systems, ground systems, the spacecraft, and the U.S. Air Force Western Range. The vehicle system readiness poll includes electrical systems, hydraulics, pneumatics, propulsion systems, flight control, and propellants. Let's listen in as Scott Barney performs the final polling of the launch team.
Status check to proceed with terminal count. First stage systems, propulsion.
Go.
Hydraulics.
Go.
Lux.
Go.
LH2.
Go.
Second stage system, Lux.
Go.
LH2.
Go.
Electrical systems, airborne.
Go.
Ground.
Go.
Facility.
Hi,
Go.
Quinn. Hi.
RFIPS.
Go.
Flight control.
Welcome.
COM.
Go.
GCQ.
Go.
Operations support.
Go.
Pneumatics.
Go.
Umbilicals.
Go.
HAZGAS.
Go.
ECS.
Go.
Red line monitor.
Go.
Quality.
Go.
Op safety manager.
Go.
ULA safety officer.
Go.
Vehicle system engineer.
Go.
Anomaly chief.
Go.
Range coordinator.
Clear to proceed.
Launch director.
Launch vehicle is ready to launch.
Mission director.
You have permission to launch.
Proceeding with the count.
L minus 6 minutes.
Work
ALC.
out. Yay.
Verify T0 is set for 20:47:00 Zulu.
Verified.
MEQ establish swing arm lock pins pull.
Active.
Polling is complete and the launch team has given the go for launch. The countdown will resume approximately 2 minutes from now. At T-minus 4 minutes and counting, we will enter the terminal count and begin securing the second stage liquid oxygen tank. At T-minus 3 minutes and 32 seconds, CBC liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen tank securing is started, including closing the propellant fill and drain valves. Also, at T-minus 3 minutes and 32 seconds, vehicle transfer from ground facility power to its own internal battery power will be complete. At T-minus 3 minutes, the vehicle ordnance system will be armed and the CBC liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen propellant tanks are verified to be at flight pressure and flight level. At 2 minutes prior to liftoff, the team will verify that the hydraulic system is pressurized and confirm CBC, DCSS, and FTS battery voltages. At T-minus 1 minute and 20 seconds, the team will begin securing the second stage liquid hydrogen tank. At T-minus 60 seconds, Western Range readiness is verified. At T-minus 50 seconds, the DCSS liquid hydrogen tank is secured at flight level. At T-minus 15 seconds, the launch table HBOs are ignited at the base of the vehicle to burn off excess hydrogen. At T-minus 7 seconds, the starboard CBC engine is ignited. At T-minus 5 seconds, the port and center CBC engines are ignited. Liftoff will occur at T0.
So yeah, this is also the final launch from
This is Delta Mission Control
Vandenberg.
at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. We anticipate releasing the hold in just a few
Or
moments.
the penultimate. Hold on.
T minus 4 minutes and counting. 3:55?
No, the
countdown
tanks are
clock has
actually
resumed.
primed
We've
with
entered
helium.
the terminal count and are go for launch at 1:47
So,
p.m. Pacific time.
Inside of the tanks, there are CPVs, composite over
Second stage
pressure
blast secure at
vessels
flight level.
filled with really cold helium. It's still gas, but it's really cold. And then through the heat of the engines, there's a pipe that runs helium through that, and thereby they heat up the helium. It expands, it gains volume, and then they put it back into the tanks. So from all the fuel that was drained, the space that was left is filled up with pressurized
T minus
helium.
3 minutes, 7 seconds.
And the turbines of the rocket, or the engines actually, are indeed primed or spun up with high pressure helium.
249.
FTS internal.
So yeah, you were correct, but it's not nitrogen, it's helium.
CBC locked.
Yeah, it's
Pressure,
not rocket
flight
science.
level.
Well, rocket science isn't especially hard. It's probably more material science inside of rocket science that is the hardest. I mean, it's basic physics. It's
CBC LH2 at flight pressure and flight level.
it's
pressure at 4,000.
it's Newton's
2 minutes,
second law.
159.
Action equals opposite reaction.
155.
So you shoot out a lot of high energy gas which moves at high speed, and then therefore you get a force going up, and if you have the force for long enough you can
140.
accelerate till
FTS
137.
7.5 kilometers per second. So yeah, pretty quick.
T minus 90 seconds. The launch vehicle, payload, ground systems, and western range are go for launch.
120. OCU's ARB.
FTS count started.
So let's go. So at T minus 15 you will see the sparklers ignite, which are to prevent most of the hydrogen
T minus 1 minute.
accumulating around the rocket.
Soapbox go.
Rock, report range status.
Rock.
Range
Range
green.
is green.
50 seconds.
Second stage LH2 secure at flight level.
30 seconds.
Status.
T minus
Go
30
Delta.
seconds.
Go NROL 82.
Let's see if we're fully go. Are we going? Are we
15
igniting?
seconds.
Rofi,
I
good.
hear Rofies.
9.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
There we
4,
go.
2, 1, and
Lift off! Yay!
liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV Heavy rocket carrying the NROL 82 mission for the National Reconnaissance.
Partial thrust achieved.
You are hearing the
Oh,
voice
this
of
is
Rob
fun.
Kesselman providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Now, 50 seconds into flight, vehicle is 3 miles in altitude,
I don't
5
know what
miles
happened
downrange
there.
distance, traveling at 970 miles per hour.
My internet couldn't handle the launch, I guess. Well, anyway. Ooh, looks so good.
All vehicle systems look good at this time.
Mach 1, probably.
Now, at T plus 80 seconds, vehicle is now passing through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. Mach 1, vehicle is now supersonic. All 3 RS-68 looks healthy at this time.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but
Vehicle systems continue to be healthy. The second stage reaction control system pressurization valve has now opened.
it's pretty nice. Yeah,
Now,
so this
125 seconds into flight, Delta is now 18 miles in altitude, 9 miles downrange distance, traveling at 1,800 miles per hour.
So yeah, the stream will be stopped, or actually they
Delta
will.
has now gone to closed loop guidance. Vehicle body rates are nominal.
Whee! It rotates to basically horizontal, so that's what
3
it's
minutes
doing.
remain in the booster phase of flight.
What I was
Delta
gonna
4 rocket
say.
now weighs just 1/2 of what it did at liftoff,
Wow.
burning propellant at a rate of almost 5,000 pounds per second.
Speedy boy.
1 minute until port and starboard booster engine cutoff.
I said yes, lift off, probably something along those lines, but yeah. What I was gonna say is that they'll stop the broadcast
systems look
after
healthy at this time. The
payload
attitude
fairing
control system,
separation, but
the
that's because
Autopilot
secret
has
mission.
controlled all vehicle body rates to near zero.
Yeah, we're coming up on booster
Approximately 30
separation.
seconds remaining now until the port and starboard booster engines cut off.
Look at how fast it's gone.
Strap-on boosters are now throttling down to the partial thrust level.
Hopefully we'll see them separate from the onboard.
Strap-on booster cut off.
There we
And
go.
separation of the strap-on
Bye
booster.
bye. Bye bye boosters.
Core booster is now throttling back up. Core booster is operating as expected at the 100% throttle level.
That's
The upper stage lock
California,
system
by
has
the
now
way.
begun the boost phase chill down sequence to begin thermal conditioning of the RL-10 engine. 1 minute remaining in the booster phase of flight. Upper stage fuel system has begun the boost phase chill down sequence. Booster performance continues to look good at this time. Vehicle body rates continue to be near zero as expected. Core booster is now throttling down.
Should separate pretty quickly. Speed
have
around
Pico,
now.
First stage main engine cutoff.
There you go. 5 kilometers per second. Actually
stage
almost
separation.
6.
NED's deployment has begun. Pre-start on the RL-10. We have ignition on the RL-10, that's one. We have indication of successful payload fairing jettison.
There we go. And that's it for the stream.
This year, the National Reconnaissance Office celebrates its 60th anniversary. From its inception in 1961, the NRO has used its incredible intelligence collection capabilities to meet the nation's challenges. Let's take a look back at the agency that has pushed the envelope of U.S. space-based intelligence collection with courage and ingenuity.
This year, the National Reconnaissance Office celebrates 60 years since its founding in September of 1961. Thanks to our heritage, the NRO today has an unrivaled constellation of advanced overhead reconnaissance systems that help protect our nation 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. As part of our anniversary celebration, the NRO's Center for the Study of National Reconnaissance has put together a year-long program highlighting key events and innovations that shaped the NRO's past, present, and future. In a moment, I'll share some of those historic milestones with you, But be sure to follow us on social media for more 60th anniversary content. When we think about satellites today and the near real-time digital data that NRO overhead systems provide, it's hard to believe that the first overhead reconnaissance efforts relied on camera film and balloons. One of the earliest film return reconnaissance efforts was called Genetrix. In 1956, the U.S. Air Force began launching high-altitude balloons from Europe and Turkey that would sail across Eastern Europe and the Soviet Union, taking pictures along the way as they floated by. Then, when they got out over the Pacific, the Air Force retrieved the balloons from midair in C-119 aircraft. This recovery experience was invaluable a few years later for the Corona program. Corona took aerial recovery a step further because the film was ejected from a satellite instead of floating along in a balloon. These early film vehicle captures were so essential to the field of reconnaissance that we've placed examples in the NRO headquarters lobby. Each parachute represents one of the critical innovations that brought the NRO from 1961 up to today. Another enduring legacy is our history as both a member of the intelligence community and the Department of Defense. In the late 1950s, all three military services, as well as the CIA, were involved in trying to launch satellites, each for their own unique purposes. By the time President Kennedy took office in 1961, it was clear that all of these various efforts would be more effective and efficient if they were managed within one single organization to control budgets and facilitate coordination. So on September 6, 1961, CIA and the DoD signed an agreement to form the jointly managed National Reconnaissance Office to run the National Reconnaissance Program. As a result of our unique position, NRO for 6 decades has worked with our DoD and IC partners to inject advanced capabilities into our operations to deliver critical intelligence to policymakers and warfighters worldwide. We work with our mission partners, including NGA, NSA, CIA, DIA, Space Command, Space Force, to provide global situational awareness.
Bye,
to
Ox. Thank
government
you for
and civilian
stopping by.
agencies. Today's NRO-L82 mission launch represents not just years of planning and collaboration for the specific mission, but a 6-decade legacy of innovation in reconnaissance.
Rock, report range status.
Range green.
Launch enabled.
We have main engine ignition. 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV Heavy rocket.
When the nation needs eyes and ears where no other collectors can reach, it turns to the NRO.
This is Delta Mission Control at T+10 minutes. Rob Kesselman just confirmed the successful completion of the early phase of today's flight, and all systems continue to operate nominally. I'd like to thank Rob for his support of today's show.
Very funny,
For more
you can still
information
see in
about
the
this mission,
reflection
please
of
follow
the
us on
windows that
Facebook
it's
and on
going.
Twitter, or our blog at ulalaunch.com. We'll leave you now with another look at the liftoff of the Delta IV Heavy rocket carrying NROL-82 for the National Reconnaissance Office. I'm Caroline Kirk, and on behalf of the entire launch team, thank you for joining us and have a great day. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV Heavy rocket carrying the NROL-82 mission for the National Reconnaissance Office.
Those were some
On the
good
pitch over
views.
maneuver.
Very good views.
The parameters look good on all 3 cores.
Yeah. That's it for me as well, I guess. So let me go back to this. Oh, so many. Oh, not on this. Well, hot, straight, and normal, like we like them. So, if there are no other questions from my chat, then I'll sign off, I guess, for today. Yeah, a bit of a short one, because, well, I don't know, yeah, launches are never that long, because nicely they don't actually stream for long. So, with that, I see I had to actually clean my camera. Still shit. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in, hold on, next one. Which is gonna be the probably Vega, but it is, when's that? Oh, that is on Thursday. Oh, but that's morning at 3:50. I need to work that day. I'll probably watch, but I'm not gonna stream that because hahaha, yes, my boss probably doesn't like me if I'm working like this. Well, we have some good lunches coming up, so should be fun. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.